Not that long ago, we introduced you to the Raise3D E2, a quite capable machine that we gave a first look at. But now, thanks to requests from people that clicked a link in the description of that episode, we've got more prints to show you, and a lot of them are incredible. You're gonna wanna see this, and you're gonna get to right here on 3D Printing Nerd. There you are, welcome back, and let's just get right into it right here. The first one you will have seen not too long ago, and that is the 5-guard. This was designed by Nick DiMello. You know him as Bugman140 on the Twitters, and it is in Polymax PC for the holster, and it's in my High 5 Blue for the guard itself. I think it turned out wonderful. Everything fit together the way it was supposed to, and I think the E2 did a good job. It is displaying something that other printers are showing. And if you look right there, you can see that there is one tiny little continuous layer imperfection, and it happens to line up with the top layers here. We saw that with the record player episode. And one of the things we thought was because there's infill right here, and then this doesn't have nearly as much in it. That infill contracting is pulling that sidewall in, and then when these walls go down, it's a little bit over it. And we heard some of you say you wanted to look into that when we talked about it. And if you want to see that, please leave a comment down below. I would love to explore why this happens and ways to mitigate it. But that notwithstanding, this is an awesome print. And honestly, I mean, look at that. I love how that turned out. I think this is a great timely print as well, and the sidewalls turned out good right there. All in all, this is a good print. Again, Nick DiMello, you know him as Bugman140 on the Twitters, and this will be available at a link in the description. There we go. Next up is, by my request, it's a Benchy, 3D Benchy. Oh, I love this model, and I love it when it's printed really well. This machine did it great. It's 100% scale, and this is with the 3DX Tech ASA. ASA, as you know, is similar to ABS, but it has UV resistance. And so this Benchy is gonna get planted in the garden, and the captain of the boat will look over all of the garden, I think. I don't know. There's no captain in the boat. Shoot, okay. The captain jumped ship. But regardless, this is a good Benchy, and I printed this because I really like this filament, and I wanted to print something good with it. As always, you do a little test, and that's my test right there. Next up are these. This was requested by John, and John said, nylon, ASA, PC, or other exotic materials. We just showcased the Polymax PC in that one print, and we do have a couple more coming up. But this is a desk organizer, and it allows for using SD cards, micro SD cards, and USB sticks. Plus it's got these little holes that you can keep pens and pencils and other things that you would typically lose. These are printed in the 3DX Tech ASA, and I gotta tell you, even though the UV resistance probably isn't needed for a desk organizer, the strength and rigidity and the similarities to an ABS material are, because I'm rough with everything on my desk, and these will last the test of time. Plus, I think they turned out gorgeous. Oh look, there's USB sticks. Here's the SD cards. These are what I give to Sean to edit. Oh, and look at up here. This is the Mandala Rose Works. That's my filament clipper. I'm glad I put that in there. And in fact, the Olsen Ruby. This is the nozzle remover, so I can torque the nozzle correctly when I put it on. What's in here? Oh, this is cool. Okay, this isn't print related, but you know, you're here, so I'm gonna ask you. We had a rental car, someone left behind something, and it's this. This is an Apple USB charger, but I've never seen one before that's non-US. I know that everybody else that's around the world probably has seen one of these, but this struck me as amazing, and it tickled my fancy, and all those other words that go along with that. I'm curious if ones from other parts of the world look different. Of course, I've seen US, so tag me on the Twitters. I'd love to see pictures of your USB plugs. And there we go. That's all the stuff that's kept in my desk organizer. So all that stuff is now organized, and I can properly not lose my SD cards like I've done in the past. So the next one is interesting. It's probably one of Anival Trade's favorites. It is a Llama Planter. And let's see, the Llama Planter was Yehia Jamul. Well, I'm really sorry if I butchered that name. It's quite probable that I did. But they requested this Llama Planter in High 5 Blue, and I did it a few different ways, and I think it's interesting, so let's dive into it. The first one is this gargantuan-sized Llama Planter, and I think in High Five Blue, it looks incredible. This one, though, I had a problem with it, and if you look under here, you can kind of see why. So the white stuff is PVA filament, and I tried printing this with PVA support layers. Unfortunately, I hadn't dried it in forever, and so it didn't print very well, and that's why you end up with something like this. It sort of supported the llama chin, but it didn't do a good job, and so let's be honest, a llama planter can have a problem chin and still support plant life easily, but I wanted to do it correct. And so what I did first is I tried with regular supports, just no PVA supports. I wanted to get that dialed in, and well, in fact, you can see right here. So regular supports, they turned out okay right there, and I'm not bleeding, so that's a good thing too. But right there, when I was doing the manual supports in Idea Maker, I didn't center them around the chin, and it didn't support the chin very well. So again, we have a functional, smaller Llama Planter. Maybe this is the mama and this is the baby, but it will still work, but I still wanted to dial it in. So we've got this one right here. This is a Llama Planter, but I did fix the supports. And so with you watching, let's take off. Okay, it's better. It's better right there. The chin was produced, but I didn't get it right. Llama chins apparently are really difficult prints because they start at this point on support that rides up there. I dried the PVA. I dried it as much as possible. I put it in my food dehydrator for days. It should have been fine to print. And according to this right here, it should have printed just fine. It's like Christmas. Unwrapping a gift. It just happens to be a gift that we already have many of.
Yay! 2 Christmases!
PVA supports were used for under the belly, and PVA supports were used up here for the chin. Let's see if we got the chin right. That's the tough one. And oh, look at that. It's a proper llama chin. Look at that. It's very pointy. I don't know, do llamas have pointy chins? I should probably reach out to Anne and ask her. And I know with PVA, you can put it in water to dissolve, but I'm not here with a sink. So there's the PVA support layer, and it was just the dense layers that were PVA support. We should be able to peel it off. Hey, there we go. Look at that. We did it. We got ourselves a very good print of a Llama Planter. And like I said, all of these are actually going to hold plants just fine, but as a technical exercise, I wanted to get that chin correct, and I did. Thanks for suggesting this, John. I think what I'll do, though, because Annabelle Trades is a big fan of llamas and other barnyard animals, I think we'll wrap up one of these for her, maybe put some Seattle treats in it and send it her way. We know that she moved to Nashville and she probably misses her home here in Seattle. So we'll give her a taste of home with my filament, a llama, and some treats. If you have any suggestions on what we should send to Anne, let me know down in the comments. There we go. We printed this. Sticking with the High Five Blue, remember Danielle, who has the Steam connection and has her Every Kid Gets a Robots electronics kits. This is one of the wheels from that. I had the STLs. I thought I would give it a try, and the machine, it's slippery. But the machine reproduced the honeycomb sort of structure that's on the inside, and the sidewalls look really good. I like Danielle. She was incredible to talk to, and I'm going to do my best to support her efforts with some more prints. And so now that I know the E2 can...
Whew, that's tough, man.
It's slippery. Now that I know the E2 can reproduce this at such a great quality, I might put one of these to work for a few days with some spare filaments that I have and put together a couple dozen wheels for Danielle. I think that might be a really good idea.
Bye.
This is requested by Timothy Scuderi, and originally Timothy requested this in Polyalchemy Elixir PLA Purple Rain. I didn't have time to get that, and I don't have access to that material at that time, and so I did have some purple PLA from Printed Solid, their Jesse 2.0 PLA, and this is the result. It's Thanos. People are going to ask me how much this cost, and my reply is going to be, it cost everything. Right? Isn't that that's the, yeah. So if you look, this was printed using the Printed Solid Jesse PLA, like I mentioned, and I think it did a fantastic job. I think this is a great version of this model. I like that it prints without supports, and the PLA that produced it is a really good shade of purple. Plus, if you look at the chin right there, that is such a fantastic organic FDM printed surface. It's just, it is great. I don't know, I like busts like this. I printed this, I printed Spider-Man. We might have to get a few more of those going. And this, because it's purple, obviously Thanos is purple, but his clothing and his armor are different colors. And so I might use this as a way to learn some painting while I'm stuck at home. Now what I did is I found my Polymax PC, and you saw that one print before, but what I did is I slathered the build tack with some of that nanopolymer adhesive from Vision Miner because I really wanted it to stick, and I started some more prints. And there's this one. It might look familiar to you if you've been following online. This is known as the Impossible Table. This is a table that is seemingly able to withstand just floating in air, but it holds kind of like this. With, right, like that. There we go. Kind of holds just like that. And there is a piece of string or something or fishing line that goes in between, and then there's some on either side. And so there's some compression going on, and it can't pull down too hard, but because of these outer ones, it can't go up too hard. And you see the model page for this, where I got it, actually shows a can of soda on it. And so I think this is cool. We're not going to assemble it right now, though. We're going to save that for another time when we might have something slightly larger. You'll have to stay tuned. A couple practical prints for you at this time. This is in the Polymax PC filament, and this is a bracket, or a brace, a vise, a thing that holds two pieces of material together. So how this works, this is kind of ingenious. Well, first, the prints look fantastic. Look at that. It came out incredible, and they are strong, and they feel good. I love this material. I'm really excited that the E2 can print with it so well. But two pieces of material go here and here. This will push against them, and then this is a little cleat that clicks into place. And so if your material is out here, you put in, so you push that cleat into the holes, and it holds tight. And then the idea is this will ride up just a little bit. You'll put a screw and a washer in there and a wing nut, and you'll be able to tighten this down on the material, which will then hold it in place. And so you can put two pieces of, well, wood, for example, in just like that. And then you'll be able to put in attachments like screws or nails on either side to be able to hold it. I'm really excited about this because it's using 3D printing to make practical pieces to enable fabrication using other materials. And I think that's one of the great things about 3D printing. I love this. Remember John, he requested the nylon, ASA, PSC, or other more exotic materials? This is for you, John. One of the other PC prints that I did that turned out exceptional and just blew my mind was this. This is an electronics bench vise, and its purpose is to hold things like circuit boards that you just need to hold a wire and some solder or a soldering iron to. It printed essentially just like this. And they stuck to the build tack with the nanopolymer adhesive like crazy. And because it's a flex plate, I was able to flex them to remove them, and they popped right off. Print settings for this were just default in the Raise machine, and now we get to put it together. I was waiting for this. It's gonna go together like this, and then there's these little clips right here that are gonna go in the side to hold it together. So it doesn't require any additional hardware. There are these two, what are those called? Little gears, maybe? And they have to exist a little bit in like that. And then this piece will go in like that. And this piece should go. Ha 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 ha! Yes. Look at that.
Perfect.
It's not moving very fast, but that's exactly what you want, because you want to be able to provide just as much pressure as you need. So it comes with these little pads right here, and you can kind of see they are slotted, and that's to assist in holding circuit boards. And so if you just put a circuit board against a flat surface, it doesn't have anything to hold it in place. And so if the circuit board is surrounded by these and it has these slots that it sits in, it isn't going anywhere. Let's put these on. Just like, look, there's a little bump there. So it should go just like that. These are the pins that go into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 holes. Let's just put them in. Look at that. Ooh, went in easy. What makes this incredible is not just that it's a working vise, it's that it's 100% 3D printed. And I am missing a clip. Did I forget it at home? You know what? I could print another one if I'm missing it. That's the best part. But we've got 6 of 7 in, and it's not coming apart. And this is working great. In fact, what we could do...
Does it hold a llama?
Well, the Llama is not a circuit board, but... honestly, if you're not printing a clamp to clamp a llama, you're not really 3D printing. All kidding aside, this is a wonderful tool, and there's tons and tons of 3D printable tools like this available online. You don't always have to print them in a PC material. I did because I have it available, and I have this machine, which is very capable in printing it, but I really like this. I like this, and I hope you do as well. Finally, I want to talk about flexible materials, and we've got 2 different stories to share. We'll start with the failure. Filament Frenzy, you know him as Tom Jackson. He is the one that requested a certain tire and rim be 3D printed together, with the tire being in flexible and the rim being in high 5 blue. I chose, because I had access to it, is a new formulation of the EVA filament. And I think Tom specifically called out the EVA filament. And I gave it my best try. And no matter what I did, I could not get this machine to print it without clogging. And here's the interesting part. I have yet to get it to print on any machine. Any of them. I've tried on 7 different machines and it just keeps clogging. And I thought, hey, I'll give it the old college try in this one. It didn't complete. And so it's unfortunate, but it's not unique. I did get this though. Let's just look at it. Look at it. This is an EVA foam based filament. I've posted pictures before on social media where it's more of an EVA foam color. It's a greenish or a greenish,
yeah,
right?
Green, yeah.
Greenish. This is a new formulation from Fennec 3D. I know it's not available yet. He just sent it for me to test it out. And testing so far hasn't been progressing well. But when you feel this filament, it doesn't feel like a standard flexible filament. It's got a little bit of give and it feels like foam. But if you're really interested, I'd like to dedicate an entire episode to getting this material working. And if enough people want it, I'll invest the time. You just have to let me know in the comments. So that is one story. The next story in flexibles is this. That's a tent spike. And originally my plan was, I've got some Tallman 3D Alloy 910, a nylon material that's incredibly strong. Let's print a tent spike with it and let's pound it into something and let's see if it works. And so I grabbed my roll and it was PCTPE, which is Tallman's flexible-ish material. It's still incredibly strong, but unlike the nylon, it gives a little bit more. Don't get me wrong though, the print quality on this tent spike is fantastic. If you look at those sidewalls, that is a true definition of an exceptional print. And this is with PCTPE that I dried for days on end just to make sure, which I then thought was Alloy 910. But Raise has what they call the Open Filament program, and they have settings that you can download and then import into their slicer. And so I did, and I converted it over to my E2 profile, and then I went on Tallman's site just to confirm temperature for build plate and temperature for nozzle, and I changed it a little bit, and this is what popped out. And so now my mind is racing because it's a semi-flexible material that is super duper durable. It means that not flexible like a grip of a golf club or the grip of a bicycle, but flexible in that a really durable material that's heat resistant and just not 100% rigid. I have no other way of describing it, but if you look right here, I mean, I'm bending it. I wonder if we could hit something with it.
Well, now you have to.
Now I gotta hit something with it.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we have this tent spike printed in the Tallman PCTPE, and if you look on Twitter, he likes to print all sorts of spikes and pound them into different woods, showing you the durability of his materials. I don't think he's done it with PCTPE. He's done alloy 910, so I guess this is a first. So here we go. This is a hard insulation foam. How thick is it, Sean?
7 inches. No.
Sure, we'll go with that. And we've got the tent spike, and I've got my, so this is from Stanley. I've had this forever. It's called a Fat Max Supreme. I call it a foobar. I'm really thinking it's gonna work, and it's not gonna be, I mean.
Yeah, look at that. Easy.
Not a problem. You know, it actually might work as a tent spike, because even though it gives, it's not like it folds over. So if this is the only material you have. This is, according to Sean, 7-inch plywood, and it has a paint layer on it. What Tom Tallman's been doing is splitting 2x4s. So this being plywood, it might be a little bit stronger. This is gonna have a little bit more give than the alloy. I don't know what to expect. There we go. Sorry, Sean, you don't get any.
I'm behind cameras, it's fine.
Is it? And so just like Tom, I'm gonna use these pliers to hold on to it. What's your guess?
I'm gonna guess the spike gives. Stop, you're killing it, you're killing it.
Okay. So if we look, this was obviously a much harder test than what Tom's doing and showing off on social media. He's using 2x4s, this is plywood. He's using alloy 910, and I'm using PCTPE. So I was hitting it, legitimately hitting it with this, well, the foobar, holding it with these pliers, and it did give. It did give, and it did delam just a little bit. But look at that. I mean, look at that. It dented it.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Look at that. We had a bunch of fun right here. We showed you practical prints. We showed you prints that look great. We showed you a mixture of the two, such as the Llama Planter and the PC gear clamp.
The clamp.
Brace.
It's not a
Vise.
Vise?
Vise. So now it's back up to you again. I'm really curious what else you'd like to see. And honestly, I hope some of you request some alloy 910 with some spikes, because this can't be the last time that I try to pound a 3D print through a piece of wood. Well, beyond all that, don't forget to hug each other more. I love you all. Wash your hands. And as always, high five.